Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the 3D Critic channel. Today I'm going to give you guys my performance review on the Nike Lebron 22s. Now as far as the Lebron 21 is concerned, it is one of the best shoes that I've played on last year. The traction was very good, very grippy. Cushioning was one of the best, very responsive, bouncy, and comfortable on top of that. Materials were very good, very premium and flexible at the same time. Lockdown and support was no slouch too, one of the best lockdowns and supports that you're going to get in a shoe. So I was kind of curious to see if they're going to make any improvements or are there any downgrades to the 22s, considering that the original retail price is going for $180 on Nike's website right now. So if you guys are interested, I will leave a link in the description box below. So starting things off for you guys, the overall trying experience was very easy and straightforward. You just need to open up the laces and you're pretty much good to go at that. Didn't really have any problems or getting my foot inside the shoe, so it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. As long as you open up the laces, you're pretty much good to go. As far as the sizing is concerned, I went true to size, and the width actually feels pretty good and very snug, so you're going to have a nice snug 1-to-1 fit. The length, however, it does run a little long at first, so you are going to experience some sliding here and there, but not much when it comes down to it. So yes, when it comes to that, I would go true to size for me personally. If you have a narrow foot, I would probably go down half a size or true to size, depending on how narrow your foot is. And for wide footers, I'll probably go up half a size because of the snug fit that you're going to get, and it is a narrow shoe when it comes to the overall dip that you get in the forefoot. So yeah, as far as sizing is concerned, if you have a narrow foot, go down half a size. If you can fit it, go true to size. And for wide footers, I would probably go up half a size. Now moving into the traction setup, you are getting a decoupled outsole with translucent rubber in the forefoot and rubber in the heel, and you're going to get this triangular grid pattern that is multi-directional here in the forefoot, and it continues into the heel as well. And as far as how it plays on a clean court, it is actually really grippy and really grabby on the court. It is very tacky on a clean court, and you are getting a really good side-to-side action. You're able to cut very instantly in these when it comes to lateral movements. And as far as vertical movements, the hard stops were very good. You're able to stop on a dime, and you get quick get-offs as well, so you're gonna have a quick first step. But once dust is present, it is a no-go in my opinion, because it grabs dust like crazy and you have to wipe it every few plays when you play in it. And it actually sticks to the rubber itself, so it is kind of an annoyance when you are playing in these. The only thing you can basically do is just get one wipe down and you're going to be good to go for like 1 or 2 plays. And it was kind of annoying to deal with, and after a hoop session I would have to wipe it down completely just to get all the dirt off of the outsole itself. So yeah, it's very grabby when it comes to dust, and it was very annoying to deal with. Durability, however, it is actually pretty decent. The main outsole itself is actually pretty good. In the translucent rubber, you are going to experience some fraying in the high wear areas, just a little bit, but it isn't like peeling off completely. In the rubber half, I didn't see any signs of wear. So as far as the rubber is concerned, the basic rubber is good to go, but the translucent rubber, you are going to get a little bit of fraying. So yeah, a very inconsistent experience when it comes to the traction setup. I hope along the line with future colorways, it's going to be just completely rubber, and it'll probably be a more consistent experience when it comes down to it. So if you guys want me to follow up on any future colorways of the Lebron 22s where it's just completely rubber, and if there are any differences, feel free to comment down below if you want me to do that. So yeah, at the end of the day, traction is very good on a very clean court, but once dust is present, it is very inconsistent and you have to frequently wipe them down. Now moving into the cushioning setup, it is exactly the same as the Lebron 21's cushioning setup and the Lebron 20's cushioning setup, if you want to go further back into it, where you get a full-length Cushlon 2.0 midsole with a Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot, and you're also going to get a bottom-loaded air zoom unit in the heel. So yeah, at this point, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because the cushioning setup is very responsive in the forefoot, very lively in the forefoot, and with the TPU shank that you get in the midfoot, you are going to get a very snappy feel and very bouncy as well. So you're going to have a nice launch off of your first step, which is pretty good. And in the heel, it is very forgiving, and a slight difference to the 21s in my opinion, where in the 21s I did have to break it in because initially it was very stiff, and I had to break it in just to overall feel how comfortable and forgiving it is. But in the 22s, it was very comfortable straight away. Didn't have to break it in or anything. So it's very comfortable in the heel, and I didn't have to break them in that much. It's very forgiving, and you get very good impact protection on top of it. So yeah, very good cushioning setup. It does feel lower compared to the 21s. In my opinion, so you are going to experience a more lively feel when it comes to the cushioning setup itself. So yeah, very good in my opinion. And as far as fluidity goes, they are very fluid, which is surprising because of the decoupled outsole that you get. I thought it would be like a segmented feel, but surprisingly not. The heel to toe transitions felt very smooth and very quick as well, because you get a snappy feel with the shank that you get in the midfoot. So yeah, as far as cushioning goes, very responsive in the forefoot, bouncy, and very comfortable in the heel with without the break-in time needed to break it in. So it's very good, and like I said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So moving into the materials, you're getting a full synthetic leather build, which is in two different colors in this colorway, with the forefoot being blacked out. And as you move into the lateral side, you're going to get this two-tone color of the synthetic leather, and it continues into the heel and transitions all the way into the medial side of the shoe. For the tongue itself, you do get some more synthetic leather on the top, and you do get some decent padding in the heel with some embroidered padding that you can see inside of the tongue. And in the back, you're going to get the exact same Nike sphere padding that you get in the heel, just the same as in the 21s as well as in the 20s. And yeah, right, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, in my opinion, because they are very comfortable in the forefoot. Especially, I didn't have to break it in, and it feels like it molds very nicely to my foot, so didn't experience any irritations in the midfoot area, and in the forefoot didn't experience any pinching in the forefoot. So yeah, very nice, very comfortable, and the padding in the heel is nice and abundant, and it molds really well to my foot. So it is a nice, comfy, moldy one-to-one fit when it comes down to it. There is some wear in the top of my foot when it comes to the lace line. On the top of the lace line, there is a little bit of wear, and it's starting to peel off the padding of the shoe. So that was my only issue when it comes down to it. I did experience that little bit of an annoyance. Probably someone stepped on my foot. That's probably what it is, because in the other shoe, I am not experiencing that. So yeah, pretty good nonetheless, very comfortable. Aesthetically, they do look kind of weird because they tried to integrate the Nike logo into the material itself, but nonetheless, it does have some nice touches with the overall stitched layout that you get with the Nike logo. And as you continue into the heel, it transitions to LeBron's logo, which is a nice touch. And you also get some nice touches on the top of the tongue, where you get the diamond, and the material around the diamond is reflective, which is pretty cool. And I also like the embroidering that you get on the tongue, which is really nice. And you also get this LeBron diamond that you get in the medial side of the shoe, and that continues into the box that you get, which is very nice and artistic, with the same LeBron diamond that you get with the overall glossy look that you get from the box itself. So yeah, pretty cool. And the bottom of the shoe, the outsole, the translucent outsole that you get, is glowing in the dark. If that's cool to you guys, I didn't find it that cool, but yeah, if it's cool to other people, that's fine. But yeah, as far as materials go, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Very comfortable overall, very forgiving, and molds well with your foot. And aesthetically, they look kind of weird. I prefer the 21s because they're more simplistic, but this is no slouch when it comes to how it looks. Now, moving into the lockdown, to me, they are very good in my opinion, and it feels like a carbon copy of the original LeBron 21s with the leather that you get, aside from the glued material that you got on the updated version. In the forefoot, that feels like it's a one-to-one fit because of the width of the shoe, so you won't be sliding laterally. When it comes to vertical movements, though, you do slide a little bit forward because you do get a little bit of length from the shoe itself. But I didn't have any issues when it came to vertical movements. I didn't slide that much in the forefoot, so pretty good in the forefoot. When you move into the midfoot, you do get a integrated lacing system with wraps that are inside the material, so it basically feels like a shrink wrap in the midfoot, and it provides really solid containment, and I didn't experience any movement in the midfoot. And the same goes in the heel. Initially, though, I did have to break it in because initially there was some heel slippage that I noticed, but as you break in the Nike sphere padding, it molds really nicely, and you don't experience it that much as you keep molding the back of the shoe. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's basically a carbon copy of the original LeBron 21s with the material that you get, as well as basically the same structure when it comes to the shoe itself. And last but not least, when it comes to support, I found them to be very supportive. Especially for lateral support, you get a flared outrigger, which is very flared compared to the 21s and the 20s, in my opinion. So you're going to have nice lateral stability at that. And you do sit in the midsole a little bit, and you are going to get some rigidity from the material, so you won't have any imbalances when you're trying to do lateral cuts. You're basically going to be set in stone, and you aren't going to have any instabilities doing lateral cuts. And as you move into the back, the saddle actually rides up into the material a little bit, and it actually wraps into the bottom and into the other side of the shoe. So you're going to have some really nice containment, especially in the midfoot. And when you move into the back, you do get an internal TPU heel counter, which is very nice and rugged, but not as rugged as the 21's TPU heel counter because it was very sculpted and very stiff too. This is stiff, but the 21's was probably the stiffest that I have experienced. So yeah, very good when it comes to lateral support. Torsional support, because of the saddle that you get that wraps up into the material and extends into the bottom half and goes to the medial side of the shoe, you're basically really contained. And on top of that, you do get a TPU shank, so you're going to have really nice balance in the shoe. Very hard to contort the shoe, and you do get some reasonable flexibility in the forefoot, so you aren't going to be too stiff when you are playing in it. And you get a very flat base from the outsole itself, so you're going to be nice planted to the floor, and it is very wide too, so you're going to be nice and stable at all times. Didn't experience any instabilities when I was playing in these, so yeah, pretty stable to say the least when it comes to it, with a double dose of shanks basically, with the saddle as well as the TPU shank, giving you balance inside the shoe and outside the shoe. And to be honest, you can't ask for anything more. As far as comparing them to the 21's, it's pretty much the same, but you do sit lower in the 21's, so you're going to feel more planted in the shoe compared to the 21's, where I felt like they were sitting a little higher. So yeah, as far as support, they were very supportive and basically on par with the 21's in my opinion. So to sum it up for you guys, the LeBron 22's feel exactly the same in many ways to the LeBron 21's, especially with the cushioning. It's basically a carbon copy of the cushioning. It's very responsive, very lively and bouncy, and very comfortable. Materials basically carry over to the original 21, so you're going to have the nice same premium quality that you get and feel very comfortable on top of that. Lockdown and support is no slouch either. The only gripe that I have is the inconsistency that I got with the traction setup, especially with the translucent outsole that I got. It just picks up dust right away and it sticks to the outsole. So it is very high maintenance when it comes to cleaning the outsole itself. So that is my only gripe when it comes to the LeBron 22's. And in that aspect, I would just stick with the LeBron 21's. While it is cheaper when it comes to the retail price at $180 compared to $200, however, I do find pairs that are going for less than $100 when it comes to the 21s. So if you want the same experiences that you're going to get in the 22s, you're going to get the same exact experience in the 21s at a much cheaper price. So yeah, as far as it goes, the only thing that is basically bogging the 22s down is the traction setup. Hopefully future colorways will remedy that with just straight up rubber outsoles, or just a different compound of rubber. With the glow-in-the-dark outsole, it's probably different when it comes to the rubber compound that you get. So yeah, hopefully that changes with future colorways, and it'll probably be a more solid option. And if it goes on sale, it'll probably be more worth it and be more on par with the 21s, where they're going for less than $100. So yeah, very good shoe nonetheless, but I would stick with the 21s because they're at a much cheaper price and you get the same experiences as in the LeBron 22s. Thank you guys for watching this video. This has been my performance review on the LeBron 22s. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and comment down below on what you think of the 22s. Do they feel exactly the same as the 21s or even the 20s? I would like to know your thoughts on that, as well as any other questions that you might have. And if you'd like to stay up to date with future videos that I'll be posting, hit the subscribe button down below, and it'll greatly support the channel as well. If you want to see my reviews on the LeBron 21 videos, the original and the updated version, I will leave it on the corners of the screen right here. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, all of that information will be in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. I hope this was beneficial to you guys. And until next time, keep shooting.